everybody and welcome along to VSL F1. This is round number 4 of the season and we stay in the North American continent and we head to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. You may remember this track as it hosted the season finale last season I can't remember what season was, season 8, that was it. So we are here for the 4th round of season 9. My name is Jess Paul and joining me in the commentary box as per usual, we've got Liam New, also known as Evil Dragon. How you doing?
Well, hello everyone and welcome to hopefully my voice, which isn't... Oh my god, I've just seen a gif like someone said in the chat. Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh god. Anyway, moving swiftly on from gifs about things that happened in 2001, which I've seen in the chat. We're here in Canada, a circuit which first was a race back in 1978, won by the legendary Gilles Villeneuve on that day, but hopefully, unlike what I've seen, there's not going to be a plane crash here today in Canada. It's going to be a nice race. We've got lots of cars, and we've got a nice lot of them coming out onto this beautiful circuit. Anti-clockwise in layout, of course, left-hander first corner. 90% of the other circuits, they're all right-handers as well. So one of the few very rare circuits. So to be fair, you think it's a clockwise circuit. Most of it is going clockwise, but in fact it is anti-clockwise. It confuses me. And Jess, we've got rain in qualifying. A slight drizzle of rain, so everyone straight and sensibly out to get the first laps in, because we don't know how heavy it's going to be, but all we know is it's going to get heavier, presumably.
So if I were you, I would have got your laps in nice and early because it's not going to get any better. So I don't know why some people in the pits, maybe they think it's going to dry out a little bit later on as well. But we'll see who's going to be the first person to start a lap, who's going to have the best conditions. It's going to be J-Luke in the Haas, who is filling in tonight. We've got a full driver list somewhere, which I can get up for you if I can find the VSL Discords. Come on. So we got J-Luke as one of our reserves. We've got Big Boy Ewan, who's making his debut as a reserve. And we also got AFC with loads of numbers as a reserve as well. Everyone else full time. And then we got a few no-shows as well. But Liam, take us on board the lap with J-Luke.
Right, yep, it's hard to go and find J-Luke. Where is he on this order? There he is, down in 7 as he comes through the exit of turn 3, and then of course up into what is turn number... No, this is turn 3, yes, my bad, turn 3 here. He needs to hop over those inside curves and get it a rocket. This is one of those corners in the wet. The little right hand, the little kink there, very easy to snap the car down here into 6, and on the exit of 7 we all rise up the crest, and then it is down into 8. Slippery surface down here, we've got a few yellow flags popping up, it looks like, here and there. They're clearing up pretty quickly as you now come through there. Again, a little bit twitchy, rear end just stepping out as well, but all nice and dandy for them. Down into the hairpin then. And he's got 1 or 2 cars up the road of him. We'll have a Ferrari, and that will be presumably getting out. Well, he's spun, so he won't be in the way because he can't be in the way because he's not pointing in the right direction. And of course down to the straight, down in towards the Wall of Champions, the Quebec Wall, and that is the final corner on this circuit. Right then, left, hopping over the cup, don't hit the wall on the exit for good measure. I'll tell you what, the wind behind you is looking very quick, so this might be first, but not for long, because AFC 190322175, that's a very long name by the way, he's currently quickest. Foxy Bingo is currently in 3rd position. J. Aham, Casper. Anyone else? Who else wants to be in that position of 2nd position? Red Bull, looking at you. Mr. Kibbo. Do you want to go fastest? Oh, he's invalidated.
No.
Big Boy Joanne, by the way. I haven't seen him for a long time. I think he's one of the new guys.
Who?
I swear. Is Big Boy Joanne a new guy?
Yeah, he is. He's making his debut.
We got a car in the wall. Is that Scott Bugner off in the wall at the last corner? Yeah, Big Boy Joanne. I know him from other leagues. Very lovely person, by the way. So it's a little reunion to see an old person I used to know many times ago, yonkies ago, in a league that's got many different names nowadays. Meanwhile, we've got a few other drivers. Remember, 2 quali bans for drivers, Slenderman, and also I believe Aiden. No, Aiden's not got a quali ban. It's just Slenderman on a quali ban. 30 minutes to go in qualifying. And so far, 7 cars on the board. We've got Jinx, Matter, Joran, Kibo, we've got Shane, and we've also got Timo all on lap times. I think the first driver to get a lap time on the board will be Kieran, and presumably will finish this lap as well. He's got the Red Bull up the road. He drives out the way of Casper. So down into chicane, gets it all nice and stopped. Doesn't have to be perfect right now, as long as it's a good lap time. Keep it to the right, all the way to the right. And this should be good enough for only 7th position. But of course, Jess, it is getting slippier and slippier, and DRS has just been disabled. So right on cue of me saying it's getting slippier, I think, Jess, that is going to be likely the end of qualifying for all of these drivers. And I'd certainly hope that eventually we see them all retire, so we don't have to sit here for 13 minutes. That would be very nice of them to do. But we've got Yinks, we've got Timo and Aiden still going for lap times. Remember, these guys still might as well set a lap time. They can get themselves up a 1, 2, 3, 4 positions. So the best level start is 12th, 13th potentially. But by Duran, if I was him, I'd go out for another lap as well. Jinx in the pits as well for him. I'd go out for another lap time if
Hayden's
you
on the
can.
run. He's going through the final corner. Let's see what he can do. He can improve anyway because he's 17th, but 1:14.2. So yeah, that just shows that the track conditions are not really good at the moment. But you never know. If it's raining in a race, if I were them, I would put on a bit of inters and just get some practice in if it's going to rain in the race. Just so you can have a bit of an idea of what the braking references are, what the track feels like in the wet. Maybe it could be a dry to wet race. Maybe they may have similar conditions there as well. So, but with a few retirements already, people are just struggling a little bit. Now, Cam has opted to start near the back anyway, like he usually does. He does that every race, just have a little bit of fun. He does it on purpose, of course, which is fair enough. But you can see. I want
to say this quickly. Whole position, by the way, 1 minute 10.6. Second position, 1 minute 11.8. Of course, yes, it is slightly wet conditions because then Yarham a further couple of attempts back. But that is a very strong performance from AFC 1903 2175, which is many years in the future, I imagine. That's a different timeline. Some multi-time travel shenanigans have gone on there. But of course, Casper in the year 012 and Yarham in the year 92, they're going to have it all to go for. Shane Barlow, he was born clearly in 2006. It's going to be going for
He actually is, I think.
Indeed, I think he is. And Scott Barganet, he is born in the year 7 underscore. So there we go. Many different years. To be fair, 2006, I was 7 in 2006.
I was 10 or 11. No,
10, 11.
Yeah, I was 11. There we go, because I was 10 in 2000.
I should know, because you're born in 95, because it says in your username.
Yeah. So, well, according to AFC, it's meant to dry up at the end of qualifying. So that's probably why they're not retiring. So we may get a bit of a lull moment between now and the end, or we may just see people go on Inters again.
Go on the Inters, yeah. We got
so
Knighton.
We got Knighton gonna be on the lap soon. We got Matt as well. Both the Alpines want to put on a
because
show.
You're on, Jess, on the slick tyres. Now, I'm not a wizard about driving, but I mean, fair play if you want to go and try and do a lap. If he bends it, doesn't matter too much.
Oh,
but,
Ewan.
I would have Bibod Duran, yes. Is his name. Well, he probably is Duran, but I always call him Duran. There we go. The BBJ right there as well. But let's see what he can do on the slick tyres. I'm not expecting him to set the timing screens alight, let's be honest here. Well, he's not doing that because he's immediately when I said he's not going to let the timing screens alight. Matter on the intermediates, he's already invalidated. Knighton also on the inters, and there goes.
Oh, yeah, that is why you do not go on the softs in wet conditions. Because he's fun in heaven. Yeah.
If it's a place to spin, it is right there, to be fair. You're not going to be able to hit anything. Unless you really go off. Of course, Lewis Hamilton went off in similar conditions back in 2015 or 14, one of the years, in practice. I remember a pretty big accident, to be fair. But it looked pretty big, though it didn't do any damage to the car. So, obviously, that Mercedes is made of immortal glue. Meanwhile, Jess, Yarham up in P3 so far, and I've said this 2 times so far this season, that he's been decent and then he's had mistakes. This time, he's in P3, and he can't drop it down out of P3, Jess, because it's wet. So, finally, I can say this, if he gets some consistency and doesn't make mistakes, he'll hopefully pick up some pace and get some good results, because he didn't pick up points in the first race, didn't pick up points in the second race, because in the second race, of course, apart from the sprint, didn't last more than 5 meters before he ended up upside down in a barrier on fire in the in horrible Miami heat. But here we are in this race, and it's all nice and cool and cold, and probably a little bit chilly in Canada, and we've got 17 drivers, and we've got 8 minutes to go in qualifying, and we've got third position for Johan, first position for AFC. Kappa in second, of course, won the title here last season, if I'm not too mistaken on that one. See, I remember that one. Flexi in fourth, J-Luke in fifth, Matter, the reigning champion, because he former champion, Matter. In the rain, Foxy Red in 7th, Kibbo in 8th, Aiden ahead of Shane, we've got Timo, and then we've got Knighton, who's crossing the line right now. I wonder what you can do in this slick. What is the difference between dry and slick? So we're setting a 17.4.
Dry and slicks are the same thing.
Right. So what I meant to say is the slicks and the wet tyres. So shush. You. Matter across the line. Let's see what he can do. Can he beat the 17? Great answer to that. It's a 17.4. That was a tenth quicker than his teammate. Right, how about Johan? What's he doing on his lap time? Let's see. They're down on the braking zone for the honorary grab. He's got a 14. No, he's got a 17.4 to beat for his lap time. Let's see what he can do out of the hairpin. Down, of course, into where is used to be the catch as you can. You just take a little bit right here and rejoin. Pretty much right there. You can see where the barrier sticks out. That's where the old circuit used to be, right about there. But you can see some areas of runoff down on the brakes, though, into the Quebec wall, and hold it all the way to the right-hand side if you so please. And let's see, 17.4 to beat, and the answer to that is a 17.1. So, provisionally fastest for Johan in the intermediate conditions. We've got Jinx, we've got Timo, who's bailed out into the pit lane. Boo! Knighton in the pit lane, who has on a lap side. We've got Jinx on an out lap, and of course, we'll have Matter in the pit, I'd imagine, as well for him then. So, 17.1 Jess, first time to beat in the wet conditions. Jinx, though, the man who is hoping to break his own little jinx right now and get himself up near the front of the soggy qualifiers.
Yeah, he was involved in quite a spectacular incident last week. Do we remember there was a bit of desync last week in Miami, which you had some nice words to say about it. I mean, it was quite an interesting race. So at least this Jinx has had a bit of a spin there on cue. But let's just hope that the drivers improve on their driving standards this week, because we have warned them. I think there was 11 or 12 incidents for Tier 1 last week, which was quite massive. But if it's dry, Canada should be alright. But we know Canada can provide some entertainment anyway, with 5 minutes and 43 seconds left. We'll see if the rain eases off a little bit. And if I was Casper, I'll be waiting for the rain to ease off and hopefully can beat AFC's time as well. Now, interesting thing about Casper this week, his brake pedal has gone kaboosh, meaning his spring has broken. So he can brake, but not very well, so he has to use ABS, which is not ideal for Casper. So if there's points tonight where he spins or ends up missing his braking point, then that's why. Speaking of the other Red Bull, Kieran has had a bit of a square moment. So yeah, Casper's brake pedals is not working as intended, so just be warned about that. And but luckily he's still going fair enough, because I think you would be rather brake with ABS and having to use a power, which according to him is a lot slower in terms of him pace-wise compared to obviously what he is like on the wheel. So Kieran then heading towards the final corner. No, he's not going towards the final corner. He goes into the pit lane. Jinx has invalidated. Jinx is the only man on circuit now, Liam.
Yeah, Jinx is out there right now. We are expecting it might dry up in the last few seconds. That's what I'm hearing from the likes of Flexi and Casper. So that is why we haven't seen everyone retire from the session at this moment. We are just waiting to see if it does slightly dry up. Though, remember, of course, it will then be a completely green circuit. So even if they does dry up, it is going to be a little bit difficult, I would say. Will they go quicker? But, you know, the sky still raining a little bit, and if we're going to be seeing it, we'll be seeing them come out in the next minute or two, and that'll be it, of course. In terms of what the race is going to be, now, I did ask, and I haven't received an answer if the race is going to be a thing.
They would have complained if it was raining.
dry race, I've been told. So, the dry race ahead of the drivers. In comes Jinx, so it means we've got 0 cars out on circuit. And we might as well go through the standings again, Jess, whilst we're here. We've got not a lot to talk about.
We may as well, actually. Yes, but no, so speaking of that, Johan's on an out lap as we were just about to go through the standings. So,
we'll go through the standings still.
Okay, so I usually have a graphic to show you, but since there's Johan on the track, I will go through it without the graphic. So, Flexi, your championship leader on 51 points. Sorry, I have the most annoying saw, which is near the centre of my lip. It's very annoying.
Oh, I hate them. It's horrible, isn't it?
I got it once last month as well, so I got it twice in 2 months, which is frustrating. Anyway, Kieran in second on 41 points. Third is Matter on 39. Scott Bugner in fourth on 32. Slenderman fifth on 30. Charlie Harris in sixth on 25. Seventh is Jolie on 24. Harry B is eighth on 23. Now he's banned from the league due to issues we're not going to be talking about today, but he was a bit rude on and off the track. Cam in 9th on 21 with Finley. Then we have Hyper in 11th on 20th. Iceman on 19 points. Casper on 19. TL44 on 15. I think it says 15. There we go. Tony on 15. Foxy Red on 5. He's back this week though, so good to have him back. Johan on 4 points. Jinx on 2. Shane on 2. Knighton on 1. And Timo, Hayden, Rogers, Dara Smith, and AFC obviously yet to score. AFC obviously making his debut. And Timo is returning after a few weeks away. I hope you had a nice holiday, by the way, Timo. Hopefully you were sunning yourself as well. I know you were watching a few of the races as well in the comfort of your own hotel room. But he is back, of course, and is looking to make a statement. But it's still raining, and with 1 minute 40 seconds to go, I doubt there's going to be some improvements. And AFC has thought so, Matters thought so, and J-League thought so. But there are some people still braving on the softs though, but we'll see. We'll see if it pays off, but I don't think it's going to pay off.
Yeah, we'll see. We're looking at Yarham right now. This is kind of the real indication if we're going to get anything in these 9 seconds down in his lap time. So, to be fair, he hasn't actually pushed. He's not really pushing too hard either. So, it's quite difficult to judge who's going to be doing what in terms of the performance. The first driver is going to be the Alfa Romeo to see the true potential and the true pace of these drivers. If he comes into the pit or he stays out, DRS still disabled, of course. And he's coming straight in the pit then. So I think, Jess, it's without shadow of a doubt, qualifying is over. We might see 1 or 2 go for lap times right at the death of it, but Jinx out on the intermediate tyres.
We will see Pete and Jinx improve because they're times that could definitely be beaten on the intermediate tyres. So I think it'll just be a battle between the 3 of them, Knighton, Jinx, and you, and see who gets ahead in terms of position on track, because it could make all the difference. Top 12, don't forget, score points at VSL, and they get the fastest lap point if they finish inside the top 12, and they get fastest lap. Another person has just retired, didn't see who that was, so we'll keep an eye on peak lap time. It has stopped raining by the looks of things, but it's not going to dry up in time, so we'll see. Well, Hayden has invalidated. Kieran, there's some dry patches on the circuit. He's drying up pretty quickly, actually. So there could be some fastest parts of the lap. Well, Foxy Red is not going to improve. Neither is Flexi. This just cost a line. So the last person to get the best track conditions is Pete. He's on the Inters. So, as always, yeah, it's definitely not slick conditions, is it, Kieran, as he spun into the hairpin? We've got Jinx on the final sector, by the way, still quite damp, so watch out for that as he heads towards the final corner. What can he do? He's invalidated his run, as Pete is invalidated as well. Ewan won't improve. Timo
for Jinx, by the way, so if you're not invalidated, that'd have been good. Timo through the last corner. There's a red bull in the wall, good to see. Well. Everyone's invalidated. Kibbo's in the wall. Cars are going off left, right, and centre. It's a little bit slippery. Casper's on a lap time, but he is already down in the 25s. So he's not going to be doing that one as his teammate slams into the wall. The Red Bull pulls up alongside, and he's going to do some little slivers across the line right in front of his teammate. And there is qualifying done. There's also Casper with the broken brakes is currently on the front row. So if he does fail, he's only going to take out the leader instead of the rest of the field. I suppose that's a good thing. Remember, I think formation lap is on, but everyone
is on, yeah.
soft. So AFC on pole position, Casper alongside him, Yarham ahead of Flexi, J-Luke, Matta, Foxy, Kieran, Aiden from Shane, Timo from Bedroy Durant, Nigel from Yinks, Cam from Scott Bogner, Slenderman in 17th, Jess. But you've got some little things to talk about between here and now.
Well, we already talked about the standings because we mentioned that before people on their outlets. But we got a few stewards reports to go through from last week because whoever the stewards were spent a lot of time going through those reports. And believe me, I don't envy them because it was quite a few days apparently for them. So we'll have a look at them. So that was the 20th. Yeah, that was the 20th. So I got the right time. So yes, Casper versus Scott incident. Scott Bugner got a 5-second time penalty and a penalty point for causing unavoidable contact with Casper, which made Casper lose time. And 5-second time penalty for Hayden for causing unavoidable contact with Matta. And then J. Lou, which is an innocent bystander for that one. And Matta got a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision in the braking zone with Hayden. Slenderman got... not Slenderman. Finley got a 5-second time penalty for forcing Iceman into Slenderman. No further action for the Slenderman, Hypercam, Derek, Kieran and Finley incident. Same with Kieran, Slenderman and Casper. Slenderman, and there is quite a lot, so bear with, guys. Warning to Finley for failure to leave sufficient room with Slenderman. And if a similar incident is repeated with Finley, he will receive a quali ban. He will receive a penalty, which will be probably 5 seconds. Cam received a 5-second time penalty for causing unavoidable contact. Penalty removal with Slenderman due to him being illegally overtaken under safety car. And Kieran and Jinx got a 5-second time penalty and 1 penalty point to Jinx for... 5-second time penalty and 1 penalty point to Jinx for giving Kieran front wing damage in the incident that they had earlier on in the race. And then Matta got the fastest lap overall and he received 2 championship points. So there we go. Quite a lot of stewards reports there, Liam. Hopefully not as many this week.
I mean, hopefully not that many this week. The stewards, by the way, are going to be a lot harsher if there's incidents this week as well. So there we go.
They've warned us.
Warning shots were fired to the drivers from the stewards. I don't know who they are. They're like Batman and Robin. They hide in plain sight. It's like clear it's Clark Kent. We don't know who they are, but they know who we are apparently. So there we go. It's Batman and Clark Kent. Or Superman. Wait, what? Hang on a minute. Anyway, Clark Kent and Superman, they are the same person. Oh, wait, that's the... Never mind. Anyway, we've got drivers ahead of us. We've got many laps. I'm very warm, by the way, so do apologise if I'm blabbling on and sounding like I'm turning into a puddle. Because it is... Well, it's 19 degrees, but it doesn't feel like 19 degrees right now. So, yeah, a bit warm, but hopefully... I can open my windows in due course. Because, of course, if you don't know, next door is starting to do some building work. Again, and it's at night time. I don't know why they do building work at night time, but here we are. Never mind. But Jess, question is, who's going to win this race?
Oh, you put me on the spot. Well, the reserve performed really well in qualifying, but we only got to see 1 lap of their true qualifying pace due to the fact that obviously it rained at the start of quali. But I'm keeping an eye on Flexi because Flexi performed really well in the sprint and feature last week. Luckily, the aborted race didn't happen because he retired in that one, but luckily we restarted, so he was able to continue. I'm interested to see how J-Luke's going to do, see if he can bring his luck back and have his good form. Slenderman as well, be interested to see how he does starting from the back of the grid due to his qualifying ban. And of course we've got Scott Bugner as well, who did not sell that time for a certain reason, which I don't know why. I think he crashed out or something, so he's has a point to prove as well. But I am gonna be brave and I'm gonna say Flexi for the race for him, because if I do say Yarham, he's gonna end up spinning it in the wall. So what do you think, Liam?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Casper. is going to be a chance of winning this
Ooh.
race. He does have, yes, he has a brake issue, but he's very quick. You won't count out AFC winning on his debut as well, but dry from wet conditions is a completely different kettle of fish. In terms of tyres, by the way, that's going to be the interesting one, what we're on. So medium, medium, hard, soft. And then we've got medium, soft, hard, medium, 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 medium. Then we've got hard, medium, hard. So everyone pretty much going for the harder strategy compared to the softer compound tyres. Only 2 on the softs, everyone else on mediums and hards. Then, of course, if you are wondering, that's AFC Casper on the mediums, Yaham on that set of hards, mediums for Flexi, hards for J-Luke, soft for Matt and Kibbo. We've got mediums in between them of Foxy Red, Aiden on the hards, and then we've got mediums from Shane, Timo, B.Y. Duran, and Knighton, hards for Yinks and Cam, and Scott Bugner on the mediums, and then at the back, Slender on a set of hard compound tyres. So, that is your tyre grid set up, but in terms of your grid, like I said, AFC on pole from Casper and Jan. Well, it's pretty much the same as like I said a few seconds ago on the tyre grid, because I said it in that order, but so you get the picture. Who is starting where? It is historically a 2-stop strategy around here. Chance of rain potential. There's a potential chance of rain in the first 15 minutes. So that is likely why we're seeing people on the medium tyres and looking at the, oh dear, AFC. And that's going to be a little bit embarrassing for you, and, well, you don't want to be doing that. I've seen that before somewhere on the
Let's hope he doesn't do that in the race.
I saw that, Jess. Remember we saw that with Flexi 7 days ago, dropping on the formation that from when he was leading.
Oh yeah,
Very
he finished second last week, I believe. Oh
Is
no, he
that
didn't.
Norman?
Or did he win due to Scott's penalty?
Oh, is that another car spun? Is that
No,
the
that's
same
AFC
car?
again. That's a winner
really?
Williams. That's Big Boy Ewan, another debutant.
So, another car having an issue then, so really get ready to go on the grid. All these drivers are going to have to slot themselves into position and then wait for the poor old AFC to try and find himself the gap he needs to be in and not hit anyone, which is going to be the awkward situation right now. He's going to turn in, he's going to turn through the middle, he's going to be sliding himself right through the gap, finding his position. That's not going to be ideal, and he is in a really horrible angle here, Jess. That is not going to help him. His teammate, well, the Red Bull putting alongside, but here we go then, in just a few seconds time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Look, but never stare, because the Canadian Grand Prix is underway, and AFC does get an okay start, but he's dropped it early straight away then. AFC has a torrid start, and the whole field comes storming through. And there, AFC, you got a bad grid position. He really cost himself on the formation, that, but it's cost him at the start of this race. He's dropped himself down almost 12, 13, 14 positions, and it's not going to get any better for him as he goes up the inside. There's contact there in the background. 1, 2, 3 cars off into the wall, it looks like, as well. Slenderman involved. Flexi there trying to go up the inside and battle for the lead down on the first lap here in Canada, but already drama at the back, drama up the front. His teammate battling as well, but what a torrid start for the man on pole. AFC, they're down 10 positions. He didn't even get off the line, Jess. That's what I said. He really cost himself. Maybe he should have disqualified himself from that formation lap. That would have helped him. But Flexi now is in a prime opportunity here to capitalise on Casper, who's a wounded animal. He is a wounded animal, is Casper. He's got an issue. Foxy Red on the move as well. They've got 2 free cars, there 2 Ferraris, a Red Bull then selling as well. Here goes Timo on Kieran, of course, former reigning champion, now back up into 4th position, and he's also had a torrid start of this season. Ferrari powered cars in 3rd and 4th. Ferrari down in 4th and 15th position respectively. Further down they've had a few cars going battle, a yellow flag somewhere up the order, and I'm wondering who's allowed for. We've got Big Boy Gerard, who's dropped it at the final corner, and he's had issues, Jess, but Casper, that's the dream start he wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think he got away really well. Yeah, he was a perfect angle as well and caught everyone else off guard except Flexi, who was battling with him all the way. And that was great to see. I was watching the battle between Flexi and Casper, and that has been honestly some superb racing between the two of them. They left each other plenty of space as well, and it looks like Flexi didn't want to give up. XE is off and has gone into a spin.
What a torrid debut for him, isn't it? He started on pole. It's not worked very well. I don't know if he had contact. It's very easy to drop it in that corner as well. So, we'll see if anything comes of it. But, Mistake for him straight away. That's rotten luck for the man there as you've got another car battling, and I think that Aiden having an issue as well. He's gone very wide. He's lost 1, 2, 3, 4 positions as well. As we've got Matter battling away with Scott Bugner, and of course it is a little bit of weaving there for Matter. Is he displeased with something, or is he...
warming his tyres.
Warming his tyres.
He's
That's
on
what I'm
softs.
wondering. He's on the soft, so those tyres be warm. Is he not happy with something?
He might not be. He might not be happy with anything at this moment in time.
Meanwhile, up the inside is almost Aiden getting spun around by Yinks, as Yinks going to try to do the up and under, and it's going to be Brave in turn 4. I think he'll back out of that one. He very much has backed out of that one. But Casper, so far, 1.3 second lead up front. Flexi in second, now 1.3 seconds behind. Then it's a bit of a gap down to third position. You know who it is, Jez? It's the man who I always curse. It's Johan. Guess where he's running third. Now, that is a very decent position for Johan to be running currently on those hard compound tyres. As long as he doesn't immediately make a mistake, it'll all be fine. Well, he's done one corner without going off the road, so no, Jez, maybe now is finally the time for him to redeem himself, to get some points on the board. Hasn't scored a single point this season.
Well, apart from the sprint.
Apart from the sprint, yeah, of course he did score in the sprint, but for the main races has not scored a single point. Meanwhile, here comes Kieran, and he's going to have a look up the inside of the chicane. I'd be better of it if I was him, and he definitely knows that more than me right now. Get a good exit out of here, and he could try one up the inside into turn 1, and I think the Ferrari not going to put that one up a fight. In fact, that looked very easy, didn't he? Let him through, it looked like, right there. The Red Bull battling there. I think Timo knows right now soft. He's going to be a long race for him. He's got a different strategy. And let's see if Kieran can go do battle with Johan. Indeed, we suspect he will be. Lap 9, we expect the soft compound tyres in the pit lane. 3-second time penalty for Matter for causing time penalties. And he's cut the corner, presumably, where Sebastian Vettel went on a few years ago. We've got a bit of a train, Jazz, from J. Luke downwards.
Yeah, and we also have a train between Kieran and Timo as well, but we are seeing the McLaren going side by side with the AlphaTauri. Cam, don't forget Cam started near the back, so he had a good start, but Foxy Red is up into P8, passed into turn 8 actually, so what a coincidence between there. Scott Bugner is on the back of Cam as well, trying to do the same to what Foxy Red did to Cam to the right hand side with the DRS zone activated, hopefully. Yeah, he's going to get DRS, good tactic there, hopefully no banging wheels. Kieran's up to third, he's got past Johan on a set of the soft compound tyres, and they'll start
contact, and there is Johan, and he's out the race yet again, another DNF. And I said maybe this season's the time for him to get good results, and he's out the race yet again. So back to square one for me in the commentary box, and poor old Johan's rotten luck with me continues for another weekend around this circuit. But Casper leads this race from Flexi. Kieran up to third. Safety car is deployed, and indeed you can see the safety car is plugged. There's a big yellow dot on the circuit. 2 people in AFC Big Body run, so both of the Williams drivers in for a set of hard compound tyres. They could potentially try and stretch them as long as they can, but 30 laps on them is a lot to ask for, so they might be coming in later on.
They last 27 laps. They last 27 laps.
They might get there. Remember, if we get more safety cars in this race, but likely they'll go on for a set of mediums or softs later on in this race. But if you're these guys up front, I'd be probably pitting for a set of hard tyres. If I was the likes of Kieran, set of hard tyres, that'll probably get you for a little bit further in the race, and you go for another set of soft right at the end. In fact, I'd imagine we might see, like we saw a few races ago, Jess, everyone dive into pit lane. No, my luck, I probably won't now.
No, they won't. Not everyone's coming in. Kieran's in, Timo stays out, Shane stays out, Foxy Red stays out, Scott Bugner stays out, Cam stays out, J. Luke stays out, Jinx stays out, Hayden stays out, Matter is in.
Apart from 2. So there we go.
Ewan and AFC obviously pitted a lap ago, so technically it counts that they have pitted. So 4 drivers out of the 16 that we have remaining have opted to make it their first stop. Everyone else staying out. Well, if you're on the hard tyres, there's no way you can take the mediums to the end, so you have no option but to stay out. But I'm doubting the decisions on why the top 6 are choosing to stay out, but maybe they think
it's the top 12 really that stayed out. I mean, medium tyres. They'll go on to around about lap 16, 17.
There could be another safety car.
Another safety car, and instead of hard tyres to the end, that's always the good possibility. So the one-stop strategy here is a little bit more the ideal strategy compared to the mediums, compared to the two-stop strategy. My apology, but we'll see what they do. Safety car will be in at the end of next lap, as we're just waiting for the two Williams drivers to catch up to the back of the field. And then one more lap, of course. But Johan out again, Jason, for the third race in a row where I said he's going to get some momentum and get some good results. He's off into the walls. So,
Can you just stop jinxing people, please, Liam? Every time you say something good about a driver and boom, they spin. Like, I think I should make more of a highlights compilation of how many curses have Liam did in one season. How about that? Maybe we could put my curses in as well, because I've cursed quite a bit this season. As Kieran is in again. Why is Kieran in again? Has he got damage? Yes, he has got damage. So
now what's that on? A set of medium tyres. Comes in, you knows, on it goes.
So now, will he come in again in a minute then?
I tell you, if I was him right now, I'd be staying on those set of medium tyres. I mean, you could pit right now again, but the safety car will be at the end of this lap, so unless he wants to trundle really slow around, he's got to make a decision, and you can trundle around a little bit, but as long as you don't be silly under the safety car, I imagine he'll probably not want to get in the ire of the stewards for withholding the race a bit longer, which I suppose probably it might be illegal. I don't know if it's against the rules to be unnecessarily slow under the safety car.
I can't remember if there's a rule or not.
Yeah, I don't think there is, but I'm just going to say there probably is a rule for that one. So he'll get himself back up running, and Casper will get ready to go back on this race. So Red Bull up the front, Red Bull at the back. And we've got a nice long race ahead of the drivers ready to come ahead of us in a few moments' time once Kieran gets to the back of the field, which he should do in a second. Or actually, is he catching up? There he is now then.
Safety car's in this lap. There we go. So I think Kieran will have to stay up for a bit longer. Now, the reason why Johan retired, he was struggling a little bit because he got the glitch that the old gen users have been having. It's the audio glitch, the audio bug, which I have on PC, and it's very annoying. So I feel for you guys.
Oh, Casper's made a mistake, or is it? No, he's waiting. He's not going yet. He's not going yet. Now he's going. Now he's going. Flexi thought he was going early, and here comes Timo then. Outside line, and out of a sudden it's the top two from last season. Top two here today, but Flexi's not going to give it up too much on the outside line. He'll be squeezed out wide, and Timo up to second position with a few cars battling Yingster. We've got a car in the wall. That is Hayden into the wall then as well, and he's had an issue. He's going to be in sort of trouble if he's not too careful. He drops it. Oh, he's caught the car back together again, but he drops out the back as almost running into the rear of him. Comes Kieran as well. Front wing damage, you are correct, with the top two from last season, Jess. Casper and Timo, they fought the title here last season. Guess what? Top two here today in Canada. And Timo, who's not had a very good season, a very good start to the season, he'd love to come back into this one. Slender man at 3 second time, but Casper bolting already. But remember, let's just hope he does not have a brake-by-wire issue, which is the potential issue that he might have in this race if the brake pedal goes. So if we see him suddenly not make the corner, that's probably why. Meanwhile, Jinx on J. Luke down into the last corner, and we're going to see Jinx up the inside of J. Luke. He's going to take the late braking manoeuvre, and if I was J. Luke right now, I'd be backing out of that one. Indeed, he does fight to live another day. So, meanwhile, here we go again, and Flexi's being dropped right now. Here's the inside, here comes another car up there into third position, and this time it is Foxy Red. Flexi struggling for some reason here. He got very close. I don't know if he got damage at the start of this race, as Kieran's had a mistake somewhere. He's dropped down a position again, so he's dropping down the field. Scott Bugner, so that's J. Luke there in snipe position. Scott Bugner, meanwhile, in 5th position. He's doing a good job so far, isn't he, Jess? As he loses the rear end.
Yeah, that was almost a disaster not made in heaven for Scott Bugner. But yeah, he started in the back. He didn't get a good lapping in qualifying, and he's in 5th position, so his race has gone well. Yeah, Knighton has disconnected because he is ghosted. So hopefully he can join back soon as Jinx tries to get past Shane up the inside of the hairpin there. And I think he's got the move done. That was very close indeed from Jinx as Shane tries to get the switch back on him. Shane has a DRS and we got a yellow flag.
AFC off.
AFC
Again.
is off. Again, he's struggling a little bit, isn't he? He's got front wing damage, so he has to come in.
Hasn't, I don't think.
No, yes, he... oh, no, he hasn't. He got away with it. Okay, so we got away with hardly any front wing damage. So Casper still leads 1.3 seconds. But look at that train between Foxy Red, Flexi and Scott Bugler. Slenderman's trying to get past Matter, which he does, up into 10th
over you,
place.
Jess. Yeah, Matter and Slender, like you said, those two are piling away. And I almost saw conduct up the road as well between J-Luke and Yinks. Those two got inch perfect away from hitting each other. And we're going to see the Red Bull dive up the inside as well. Optimistic for him. There's a bit of contact. And he gets a job done right there. We know Slender Man is one to be well, he got himself a little bit caught out last week. We'll say that much because he put his stewards inquiry in. He didn't clip out where he retired on circuit and got himself penalties. So that's unfortunate. Meanwhile, Ferrari versus Aston Martin into the braking zone. And the Aston Martin is going to be braking late. The Ferrari might try the old under. Can't quite do it there. Shane holds the line. And, well, Jinx ain't doing anything. That's the answer. That one off the road. There is Big Boy Duran is that off the road as well. And he's into the wall, I think.
Careful.
Has he got damage? I think he'll get away with it. And there's not going to be any cars to hit him. Yeah, he's got away with it
again. The Williams are just not performing to the expectation today.
Flexi down again. Flexi's really got an issue here. Up the inside comes Cam, and Flexi's dropping like flies right now. And whatever the issue is going on with Flexi, whatever has happened to his pace here, he was looking so good at the start. I don't know if he's got front wing damage. We've missed it, but if he has, he's got very light damage. He's going to battle away then with Cam, and he'll say thank you very much. That's my position. You're not having that one, sunshine. Next up is going to be Scott Bugner if he can come back into it, but Scott and Foxy pulling away Timo a further 3 seconds up the road, but up the road is Casper, and guess what? He's another 3 seconds up the road, so he's all hunky-dory up the front, isn't he, Joe? So that 11 of 35, we've got 24 laps to go, and a bit of action up and down the field, but it is a Red Bull up front, Ferrari in second, McLaren, and then the Haas and Mercedes, then AlphaTauri, then Aston, then Alpine, and then the Williams, actually. So, 8 different manufacturers in the top 8.
No, it's not Williams, it's an Alpine.
It's Alpine. Yes, my
both Williams are 14th and 15th. Meanwhile, Scott Bugner trying to go up the inside into the final corner, and Foxy Red back out of that, which is fair
he's
enough.
Dropped it.
He's dropped it.
Flexi.
That was almost contact from 3 of them. That was ever so close, but luckily quite a lot of them had to brake a little bit early to avoid a pile-up, and I just have to say good reaction from quite a lot of the drivers to react to Scott Bugner's
Aiden
crash.
out this race.
Aiden out this race. Will there be a safety car?
Safety car.
That's good news if you're. That's good news if you're in the top 4, because you can put on to a set of the hard tyres. That will definitely get to the end. It's also good news if you came in, because you can stretch out your tyres for a little bit longer. I'm just trying to see when do the hard tyres go onto a set of mediums. Lap 20. So not quite at the window to pit for mediums yet. So again, that's not helped the ones starting on the hards. It hasn't helped Cam, Jolink, Jinx, or Slenderman. But it's basically helped everybody else. And you're on mute, Liam. And I think we seem to have lost Liam.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back.
Sorry, I was opening my window because that sucked Charlotte a minute ago because I was dying of heat.
Fair enough. As everyone is going into the pit lane now, apart from Cam. There's quite a few hard runners that are going in that are gambling to stretch these mediums out to the end. Fair enough. Again, they may be hoping for a late safety car to go for a set of softs later, maybe. So that's probably what they're going for at the moment, as Knighton comes in for a set of hard tyres as well. So the only 2 drivers that have stayed out is Cam and Slenderman. They have not pitted at all this race. Everyone else has pitted. And believe it or not, your net race leader out of the ones who did their stops is this reigning champion, Massa in P2. But he's got a penalty, so it's Kieran. Actually, no, it's not Kieran, because those mediums can't get to the end. So it is Casper. Correct me. It is Casper who's your net race leader. Then it is Timo. Oh, remember what happened last season with the championship fight? We could see a 1-2 from then today.
Yeah, we certainly could. And there was a bit of tension point last season potentially brewing, and this season it's not gone the way of the Ferrari driver. Well, either of the Ferraris have had torrid time so far. They're going to hope to try and get in. Timo's one of those drivers where he's on a lot of penalty points. He has caused issues here and there, but he is very quick on his day. This was the issue, of course, last season, which really cost him having these small mistakes. He wasn't there for every single race, and he's quick. I will say that. He's a very good driver. He just needs to, like with Johan, get that little bit of consistency and that little bit of form. Once you get a bit of form, you start rolling. If you don't have form, you lose that kind of edge, and then you start a spiral, Jess, and we've seen it in real life, and then you get dropped from the team. And if you are wondering, by the way, in the world of Formula 1, has anything interesting happened today? Well, yes, Daniel Ricciardo has been dropped for presumably another Australian, Oscar Piastri. 99% likely going to be taking that seat unless we get a real surprise.
So I think reading the article from earlier, I think it sounds like that it's probably going to... I think Ricciardo's probably found a seat. I won't be surprised if it's a swap. So he'll probably go to Alpine, but you never know. Ricciardo could go to Williams.
Well, I reckon he'll go to Haas if there's anything. He's linked to Haas. And
oh yeah, he could be. So I think it's either Haas. So it's either Haas, Williams, or Alpine. So I think those are the only 3 teams that have seats left. I think. Because I'm almost certain
as well.
I think I'm almost certain Joe Guan Yu is going to keep his seat out for Romeo because
AlphaTauri's still on one seat.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But I have to say, Joe Guan Yu has had a good season, hasn't he? In real life, he's performed solidly well, and out of the times he retired, it was either out of his control, Silverstone, or the car failed on him mechanically. So to be fair, he's done a decent job. But safety car is in this lap, and who's going to be leading the safety car? The man who hasn't stopped yet, Cam. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of tasks behind him. He's got Max, who's hungry for a win. Those tyres, they might get to the end if we get a few more safety cars under their belt. Kieran, he will definitely stop one more time. He would have been on the hard tyres, but he's on those mediums. Casper, he needs to be nice and cautious right now. He knows he's got Slender Man right behind him, so doesn't need to battle too heavily and try and trip each other up. Just try and pull away a little bit. Presumably, we're going to have Kieran get out the way of Casper at the first opportunity. So the 2 Red Bulls in a poised opportunity to switch. But in a second, we'll be getting ready to go. And right about now, we are on the way then. So Cam leads them away straight away then from Mata. Then comes Kieran. Further down the field, a few drivers warming their tyres up still as they head down towards turn number 1 into 2, and it's caught in the background there. And there is a Mercedes of Slenderman being punted around, and I think there's all sorts of trouble. There's a pile-up, Jess. There's been a pile-up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cars involved. It looks like there's a bunch up again. More yellow flags fly. Jinx involved, but I think that was caused by Timo into the back there of Slenderman. It definitely looked like it was Timo there. I saw a red flash into the back of a car, and then all of a sudden bunch up behind the back. And I tell you, I mentioned it earlier, Jess, didn't I, about Timo not needing to make little mistakes, and he looks like potentially he's made one. But we'll see if there is any incident. He got damage on the front wing. Yeah, front left end plate's gone.
Oh, someone's gone
the car off, and that's AFC again. And more drama here, and safety cars breed safety cars, and there is Kieran and Mata going side by side and Matt on the grass as Kieran gets free just about there. A little bit of a wiggle there from Matt, so that was a little bit naughty. Casper's not too far back. Is he going to look? Matt's back. Yeah, Casper's backed out of it right now, and why don't you back out of it right now? Because in comes Timo. 5-second time, and he was speeding in the pit lane. For,
I wonder if he's going to retire.
Cause. I hope not either, because that's going to be another retirement for him. And he's retired from a lot of races this season.
Oh, he's going. He's still going. Fair enough. He's still going.
Set of soft tyres.
So he's going to have to come in again. So, yeah. Well, I think he doesn't have many tyres left, Liam. So he probably had no other choice to go on to a set of the soft tyres, which is fair enough. AFC comes in onto, I think, an old scrub set of the medium tyres as well. Kieran's finding it a lot harder to get past Cam on his warm hards, but don't forget Cam will be going on to a set of mediums later on.
Even wager, to be fair. A lot of 9-lap-old mediums versus 15-lap-old hards. So probably, to be
Probably
fair,
about the same.
Yeah, probably about the same. We got Matter on those 10-lap-old hard tyres. Behind him, we've got Casper, who's probably right now just... He can afford to relax a little bit. He can afford to relax a tiny bit right now. No, these guys are going to battle. Meanwhile, talking of battles, people are battling with Knighton. Knighton up. But he's back in this race quite a little way as well. The two whitey silver cars go battle. Scott Bugner, is he thinking to move up the inside into the War of the Champions? No, he's not making a move up the inside into the War of the Champions. DRS now enabled. Casper then going around the outside of turn number 1 on Matter. He get the inside for turn 2. And that looks like he might get the position done if he gets the exit. But Matt's got a lot of traction on that Alpine car. And just be able to waltz it back around the outside again. So not being able to make the inroads yet. But he's starting to press and run a little bit right now. The man in second. But I do apologise, by the way, if I do stand a little bit bunged up. My nose is completely bunged up and it won't unbung itself. So,
oh, you got a bit of a cold, Liam.
I think I do have a little cold coming.
Yes, because you never know, anything can happen. And the stream is deciding to drop some frames right now. So, things are not going well.
No! No, who's that? Is that Big Boy Uranov? It's Big Boy Uranov. Oh, Big Boy Williams scoring basically 0 points so far this afternoon. And what rotten luck for the Williams driver. I said was looking pretty decent a few moments ago as well, I swear. But not anymore. Here comes Kieran.
Done it again, Liam.
Here comes Kieran just to lead this race, and he's going to get that lead then side by side with the AlphaTauri. There he comes then, so it is a Red Bull 1, 2, 3. But which order it going to be at the end of this lap then? Is Cam going to come back through? I think not right now. I think he's going to be just sitting there, try and get to lap 20, 21, 22, then go for a set of medium tires at the end of this race. I would not put up a fight to the other Red Bull driver. And indeed, the Red Bull trying to come up the inside, but
Jesus Christ.
Cam not going to say anything about that one. Close the door on him, so I'd say he doesn't need to put too much of a fight, but he wants to. Yellow flags. And there is that Timo. Is that Yinks off the same place where, of course, same place where Timo dropped it last season.
Another yellow flag. That's probably Jinx again. Okay, yeah. So that
up the inside comes the Red Bull Casper, and he's got the job done this time around. Up the inside he comes, as long as he gets good tracks on the outside, and he'll have a bit of DRS, of course, from his teammate. So we're going to think of a move. He's lifted off slightly, so the answer to that is no. He's thinking long term right now. Red Bull lead 1 and 2 then. Here in Canada, and you'd imagine in a few moments' time, you can only see Kieran getting out of the way for his teammate.
Yeah, I think he's got to at this point because he knows that Casper's tyres will get to the end of this Grand Prix. And Slenderman
out of this race
in the pit lane. So, no safety car. As we got a time penalty, I think, for AFC as well. And one thing we forgot to say, Liam, Canada is always a place on the F1 games that likes to pick up loads of time penalties. So,
yeah,
there we go. It's not really that surprising. If you don't get a time penalty, then you're not human. As J-Lu...
Flexi off Jess as well. The other Mercedes having issues. He's dropped it out the same corner.
Loads of people having issues, Liam.
Everyone wants an issue right now, Jess.
They just want to be on stream.
I'm already 2 seconds. Are they just happy to sit there where they are right now? I mean, Kieran's still got a bit of pace in the car. He doesn't need to get out the way straight away. Like, gap is closing more and more, and I'd imagine soon enough we might see Kieran actually dive into the pit lane for a set of hard compound tyres to go to the end of this race. He has got that scrub set still. Well, he's got that set. He only put 1 lap on, so he can't go for it if he wants. Right now, Logan leads this race, and Casper, all he needs to do right now is stay where he is, and he's very much winning this race. Meanwhile, still battling away, Cam really holding up Matter, and Matter not able to make inroads. Cam really helping the sister team, well, yeah, it is the sister team, the senior team, I suppose, as well, of course. 2005, 2006, of course, AlphaTauri, formerly Toro Rosso, was once a Minardi. Of course, 2005, they were Minardi. Of course, Red Bull, used to be Jaguar, used to be Stewart back in the day. And talking of people having issues, we've got another car off. Is that a difficult circuit, but still up front. 6 times the gap between top 2. Saving ERS, the pair of them, both of them dragging each other along. Second and first positions, 3rd and 4th. Meanwhile, tagging along as well. Tell you what, this is a very decent performance for Cam right now, isn't it? He's got that gap a little bit. He's whipping the. He's not really dropping back at all.
Nope, he's not. He's actually keeping up the pace, and with him having hardly any penalties, that might help him come the end of this race, especially if we get a late safety car. Now, is Cam on any warnings right now?
Oh, he's spun! How has he spun it? He's spun, he caught it, he's got
He's
warning,
caught it,
Jess.
wow! I didn't even notice he
almost
spun, to be honest. He caught it just in time, and maybe a tank of
drifted it.
oversteer. Which
Yeah,
can happen a bit,
Jess.
wheel spin, yeah. His tyres, 20 lap all hard. I think they're pretty much a punch territory. Timo having a battle with Dewan into turn 1 there. Fight for points still. Let's look at penalties, actually. We'll keep an eye on battles as well, as we've got Mata on the back of Cam that's looking to go for a move. So, Mata, Foxy Red, as yellow flag, that's Jinx.
Jinx.
So
Front
Jinx
wing
is off.
damage.
I think, I don't know, but let's
no
get the
damage.
penalties. So we've got Mata, Foxy Red and Scott Bugler on 3 seconds. So is Shane, Big Boy Ewan and Jinx and AFC. J-Luke's on 6 seconds. Timo's on 5. And then we have Flexi, Knighton on 8. Everyone else has hardly got anything. It's Mata gets past Cam.
Oh,
that was close
Cam
there,
comes in the
but
pits. That's
Cam
always the danger.
That was always the danger. The pits
scary
are so
danger.
close.
You come into that pit lane quick, and if someone pulls across you just as you're coming in, you are having a big accident. So that's good good reaction there for Matt, just to give a tiny bit of space right there, and now he can go and see if he can chase after those Red Bulls. Now, if you're a Kieran, will you be moving out the way? Well, to be fair, there's no point in moving out the way. I mean, Scott Bugner is really the man in second position in this race, if we're looking at where the graphics is, but we are waiting to see if there is a late safety car, which there might be. 22 of 35.
Cam penalty.
3-second time penalty.
Cam, he was on none. Now he's joining the penalty club.
Bulls. Only the Red Bulls, not on penalties so far this race. And, well, let's see if they pick them up later on. And talking of issues, we got a car spinning
That
because you're on.
is one of the Williams. That's Ewan.
And I think, Jess, we might see this time the two leaders switch around in a positional move. I think Kieran coming in the pitch, Jess, actually. So I think that might be the reason.
No,
he
he's just let him through. Fair
Casper
enough.
finally,
Speaking
so,
of
never mind.
penalties, yeah, Casper's got one.
Matter in the pits, though, for a set of medium tires in this race. Will I be Kieran? Will I be in this lap for a pit stop? I reckon so.
Yeah, if I was Kieran, or maybe you would come in for a set of the soft later on, as the softs last about. I think out of all the tracks, Liam, the softs can last quite a bit of time around it. Pretty much the same as last game, as well. So yeah, so this is a perfect place where you can use the softs quite a bit. So that could be interesting as well. And by the way, if you have 3 seconds worth of penalties, then it's not going to affect you much at all. Because I think Kieran's on 2 warnings as well. So he's got to be careful that he doesn't pick up a 3-second time penalty as well. He's keeping a gap relative to Casper, so he's not pushing too much. So his tyres are... I don't know how he's making those tyres last 16 laps, because the hards only last 20. So his tyres must be absolutely dead. Actually, no, the hards only last 27 laps. Scrap that. The mediums last 20 laps. But hey ho, he's doing well. Is he going to come in? Nope, he's not. He's staying out. I'm almost certain he's going to put on a set of softs.
Yeah, he might. He'll put a set of softs and come out around about 8th, 9th position. So it's not too bad for him. Of course, Cam has to go on that set of medium tyres. And right now, he's just going to get dragged along with DRS by his teammate. And they're pulling the gap a little bit more, 5.3 seconds. The gap now between 2nd and 3rd position. My apologies right there. Behind them, the McLaren of Foxy Red, and then, of course, yellow flags, and that is for Big Boy Duran, who's dropped it well. And guess what? His teammates right next to him as well. The two Williams are going to be do battle then at the back of the field, and these two, which started quite near the middle and the front, are now right at the back and battling away, and AFC gets pretty easily past his teammate right there. And it's been a bit of rotten luck for the Williams team on both their debuts, but that's the way things happen in VSL, and you never get the short end of the straw. You get the very fiery death end of the straw on your outing, and that's what's happened to these two right now. But let's see what they can do. Set of medium tyres for B-Mod Gerard, and AFC will presumably come in later on. Another yellow flag, and that is Timo off into the wall.
Wow, Timo's binned it. So I wonder if this is the optimum pace loss for Timo then. Because
Yeah,
8 laps on a set of the softs.
Maybe a curb. I mean, he doesn't seem to get along with this circuit. Just didn't last season. He was
He was near the front a few times, and then he bottled it quite a few times, which is why he lost the championship. If he didn't bottle it, he would have won.
Well,
Good fact.
Well, that's the fact. If anything, if you win the race, you win the race. That normally is how things go, Jess. Unless
No, I mean championship. Championship.
Yeah,
that's what I meant, not race.
There, I mean, anything can happen. But Casper still needs his race. 11 laps to go. Matter time penalty, and a little bit of a lull in action right now. But Ferrari's together at the back, and Red Bull's at the front, and the Williams together. They're all kind of converse on each other's teammates, to be fair, with those that have teammates. I mean, Cam and, Matter and Knighton are together, separated by a Cam. We've got J, Luke and Scott separated by one car. The Red Bulls are together, the Williams are together, and the Ferraris are together. So everyone kind of with each other's teammates, which is nice to see.
Apart from the ones that are DNF'd.
Oh, what was that? That was Big Boy Gerard coming in the fence. That made me jump.
And he's out the race.
Yeah, I'm surprised. He's a lap down right now as he comes in, so it's a shame, but
it's a shame on his debut. But
J-Luke and Shane battling away, and there is Shane up to 5th.
Yes, so Shane's up to 5th place at the moment. Yellow flag set to 1, which is Ewan's AI car. It looks like as Matter sets the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:12. I think it was a 1:12.703 there, which is a solid lap time if I do say so myself on the medium tyres. As Kieran's tyres, oh my god, it's going to be not long before Scott Butler catches up, but at the moment he's doing well to keep in second. Those tyres won't make it the distance, but if he pits like maybe next lap or the lap after, then he can go on softs, but you don't want to wait too long. He may be paying for a late stage car, we'll have to wait and see. But we do see a bunch of cars all bunched together. We've got from Shane, Shane and J-Luke, we've got Flexi, Pete, Cam and Matter together as well. And then we got Jinx and Timo, the two Ferraris, as you were saying earlier as well. And you can see Scott Bugner is closing in on Kieran. So yeah, his tyres are definitely, I have to say, apart from the pile-up in the second safety car, I think the driving standards have been a lot better this week. So the drivers have listened to the stewards.
Yeah, I mean, what? Matt battling with Cam, and Cam not really battling with Matt. He's touched, to be fair, Luke. So they did get together, but Cam not giving each other just enough space. They need each other to be respectful, and Cam down into 10th position there. Dropped behind again, actually, behind Matt. So Matt's got ahead. Matt just pitted not too long ago, so he's on those set of medium tyres ahead of Cam. Did he have damage we didn't see? Because Matt was a little bit further back, wasn't he? So
yeah, he was.
In this race for that potential podium. I mean, it wasn't too far back from Kieran. Kieran's going to be out on that position as well, so these guys are going to battle for the lower points positions, and they're just going to hope to see if they've got enough pace at the end of this race to come through and do anything.
Yeah, it could be interesting as well, to say the least, from everybody. Literally, there's quite a lot of people that still have a shot of winning this race, as Knighton has spun. So it's not going to be Knighton that wins this race, because he had a moment. But he's still in the point, as Kieran is in. Kieran is in, Liam, for a set of the soft compound tyres. What can he do to get those to the end and be fast on them? Because they won't be optimal for very, very long, as we found out with Timo. As AFC, to be fair, is still going. But all it takes is one retirement. If one other car retires or bins it, AFC could be scoring points on debut. So don't give up, AFC. And he's just pitted for soft. So fair play for him for still being in this race. That is you get my point for Endeavour, to be honest. Even if he's a lap down, he's still in this race, which is great to see. Casper now 7.2 seconds clear of Scott Bugner. So unless Casper makes a horrific mistake, then we do know who's going to be winning this race.
Yeah, indeed, Kieran so far in 9th position. Like I said, just pitting. He's behind Cam and Mattel. He's on the soft compound tyres. He's going to go have some fun right now. Why not? I mean, yeah, he could have he could have got those hard tyres on earlier on. Didn't quite get them on. As well as we've got a Matter on Flexi, and this is for 6th position. I don't think Flexi's going to be battling this too hard. I don't think he can battle this too hard. Up the inside comes Matter. And that is job done, and does the man who started this race on the front row down in 7th. Next up's going to be Cam to snatch that position away in due course. Matter as well with the fastest lap of this race, 1 minute 12.6. I reckon we might get ourselves down into the 1 minute 11s once Kieran gets his tyres up to temperature and gets himself grooving as well. And he's down in 9th, like I said. Best ideal position he'll get is at least 6th position. If he can get the pace on, he might try and be able to chase down at 5th and 4th, but he's going to get a lot of moving or some luck to come. Meanwhile,
fair play to Shane at the moment in 4th. Like, I think this is the best I've seen him race. To be honest, he's flying under the radar, but he's avoiding all the carnage this week. He's learned, I would have to say, he's learnt his lesson for the last few weeks. He's got a chasing J-Luke behind him, but J-Luke's tyres are going to be dead anyway. We'll keep an eye on Kieran as he's within DRS range now. Well, not yet, because he missed the detection point, but he will be very soon on the back of Cam and Flexi. Cam is harvesting at the moment, and so is Flexi. So Kieran could be catching up very soon on lap 30 and 35. So there will be 6 laps to go, including this one of the Canadian Grand Prix. And just a quick reminder as well, no race next week because we'll be on our week break. But then after that, in 2 weeks' time, we will be in France. And I do remember France to be quite an interesting race last time out, but we'll talk more about that very soon. Kieran then, what can he do? 24% ERS, Cam's got 6, so Cam Harley has got any at the moment. As a Flexi, that was tight from Flexi. That's given Cam an opportunity to pounce. Then he's side by side, heading towards turn 7. Heading towards turn 8 now as well. Kieran could have almost took advantage of that as they head towards the chicane. As I almost forgot how to pronounce that word. But they all go through the hair. But this is going to be a great battle between these three, isn't it? Nice big DRS train. So we'll see what Matter.
Well, Cam made a mistake.
Cam made a mistake. Here comes Kieran. Kieran on the left-hand side. He comes on the back straight, and there we go. Kieran took advantage of that, and Kieran could still be on for a good result due to the penalties. Only driver out of all 413 drivers to pick up a penalty. No, actually scrap that. Timo's got no penalty either. I thought he got one, but he didn't. As Kieran go around the outside into turning towards turn 3 now. And Kieran just about has it as well. And they're both using a lot of VRS that could haunt them towards the end of the race, Liam. As a yellow flag, that is Jinx again. No, that's not Jinx. That is Jinx, yeah.
Jinx is in the wall, front wing damage, safety car, virtual safety car has been deployed.
So yeah,
safety car, just a virtual it looks like that.
Yeah, because there's no yellow dot on the map. So yeah, it is a VSC.
That's it's the only way you can tell right now. It's a VSC.
Yeah, I only just realised that you don't need to check the boards. You just could check the map.
Just check the big yellow dot. In comes Casper. Race leader is in. Now this is a bold strategy.
Does he think there's a safety car?
No, he doesn't. I think right now he reckons he can still win this race. He's gonna have some fun.
He's got nothing to lose. His brakes are a bit. And
he's gonna be coming out. DRS has been enabled. We are back racing right now. He's gonna be coming out the pit lane, and he's gonna be hoping he gets out ahead. He'll be in 3rd. He'll be ahead of these guys, and he's gonna have to chase down the leaders. 3 laps to go. He's gonna go for the attack, and he needs to get 4 seconds in 3 laps. He's going to have to push it like no believe how hard he's going to have to push it. J-Luke and Scott Bugner are going to have to do battle as well. We've got yellow flags. There is Flexi and Cam having an issue. In terms of penalties, by the way, a quick look at that one. 6, 6, and 3. So he doesn't even have to push too heavily, Jess. What he needs to do right now is get within 3 seconds and he'll win this race. So as long as he doesn't pick up a penalty again, which is very easier said than done, he will get good results. Jinx and Timo switch down 11th and 12th because Jinx is in the pit lane. But This is going to be interesting to see, isn't it, right now? Casper's surely, as long as he doesn't throw it off the island, with that penalty situation, will win this race.
Oh, Matter and J-Luke going battle again, Liam. As Matter has got J-Luke on the track, but Kieran's going to fight back as well. Wow! Got an overtake from Kieran. Yeah, J-Luke got out of the way. I think J-Luke knew that he couldn't fight that due to his tyres, because he's on 90 lap old mediums, like Kieran was earlier as well. So Kieran's
coming back into this race, isn't he?
He is. He's going to be in the train. And where will that put him on penalties? So 7-second gap. Quite a few people.
Put him in second.
I'll put him in second then.
I think.
Fox, don't forget, the ones on 6 seconds for the viewers are Matter, Scott Bugner, and Foxy Red. Casper and so Kieran will be second then, because Casper's only on 3 seconds.
Casper almost lunging up the inside. He wants to win this race on circuit, Jess. And I'll tell you what, I don't think Fox is going to manage to put any fight up here. Up the inside comes the Red Bull driver.
Oh!
And that's an easy move right there up the inside. Get a bit of under rotation. Away he goes. But has they done that too early? Has he got DRS? He does. So he's going to be lucky. Is Foxy going to go and challenge him yet again? He's going to think of it. Nope, he backs out of it. He doesn't want to go for it. Why risk it? Why risk it if because you know Casper's got a lot more pace. He's going to try and win this race. If I was Foxy, I probably would have done that as well. There is no point trying to battle an unbattable battle. Kieran down there in 6th. He's got to try and get 5th and 4th. Right now, here is Casper. Penultimate lap of this race. He's on the back of Scott Bugner, who's leading this race for the first time in a while. How long is it going to last? I reckon we're going to be the end of this corner, and I think Casper might take a little optimistic lunge, but he doesn't need to. He knows right now he's not got the penalty situation. He's got the better tyres, he's got the better pace. And on the exit, straight through up the inside, and I don't think Scott Bugner's going to battle that one too heavily. He can try all he likes, but on the brakes, much better performance, much better grip. Away he goes into lead of this race. Oh, and there is Casper, your race leader, and he's going for the fast lap on this final lap as well. So he's going to try and take the Grand Chelem of everything he certainly can do. First lap of this race, by the way, in terms of who's got the fastest lap, is AFC. He's down there in 11th position. Let's see if Casper can go even quick on the final lap. As we now look down towards the battle here.
I don't think
Scott
Casper.
Bugner, Jess.
I don't think Casper was fighting that one because Scott's got a penalty. I think Casper wants a fight, Liam. I think Casper wants an actual battle for the race win on track. This is great to see. He wants to work for it. He doesn't want to get the race win that easy, does he?
No, he doesn't. Meanwhile, Matt and Shane battling away for 4th and 5th. They've switched around again. Kieran not too far behind. Still can't quite capitalise on it. And let's see what Casper can do. Last lap of this race, he can afford to relax and sit back if he wants to. Doesn't need to push too heavily. If he wants to get the job done, he can get the job done. But doesn't need to do it too much. If he wants to try and make it, he can do it on the last lap of this race. Let's see if Scott wants to defend it, of course, down the back straight. And of course, Casper doesn't need to make a mistake at the final corner. But here he comes then. He's got one hairpin to go. Then the chicane here in Canada. A lot more of a cooler race. A lot more of a different race than we saw 7 days ago. And on the exit, final lap of this race. Is he going to go and take it at the final hurdle? Then let's see DRS in use. He's got a lot more to burn. Is he going to go for it? He'll risk it up the inside on the final lap. Up the inside he goes. Gets the stop done absolutely perfect there right at the end. And Casper on the final lap of the final corner will win. And here in Canada, Scott Bugner will cross the line P2. Where was Kieran going to be at the end of this? I think he might be on the podium, maybe. Yes, 1-2 for Red Bull. Scott Bugner in 3rd, Shane in 4th, Foxy Red in 5th, Matter in 6th, J-Luke will finish behind Flexi and behind Cam, Knighton in 10th, and Timo and Jinx will score the final points in this race. AFC out on the final lap of this race as well at turn number 1. But
no points.
Has been that race.
No points for AFC, unfortunately. So he binned it. It looked like he binned it on turn number 1 there as well. But anyway, a much cleaner race today. Got very intense towards the end. Nice battle with Casper and Flexi at the start and with Casper and Scott towards the end. And I have to say, Scott Bugler's driving has improved a lot. The stewards have warned Scott to improve on his driving and his behaviour in the chats. And to be honest, I have to say, he's done a lot better. And he said he even said he was sorry for the incident he caused last week. And he got drive the day in game as well. So from I think it was last. I think he started last and he finished third overall. So I have to say Scott's my driver of the day, Cass really well, and also Kieran, my all-wheel driver of the day, for the only driver inside the top 10 to pick up no penalties and for hardly making any mistakes. So well done, Kieran.
Yes, indeed, as my game's crashed. So that's not good.
That's the first time in a while, isn't it, Liam?
Yeah, well, it did crash earlier, and now it's crashed again. So that's second time.
But don't forget, the game did update, I think, was it Monday?
It did update itself not long ago, so it's probably broken itself again. But there we go.
We'll go through your results then, whilst we do that. So Kieran said he had a fun little race then, to be honest. I agree with you, Kieran, so well done. So we got Casper from Kieran, from Scott, from Shane, from Foxy Red, Matter, Cam, Flexi, Jolik and Pete, your top 10. Pete also gets 2 extra points for the fastest lap. Timo in 11th, Jinx is your final point scorer and finisher. Your retirements for this evening's race are AFC, Dewan, Slenderman, Hayden and Yaham. And as I was saying earlier, no race next week because we got a break week. So yes, that could be interesting to say the least. So obviously when we're back in 2 weeks we'll be at France. So yeah, I have to say some standout performances from quite a lot of drivers.
It's been definitely a good race up and down, a lot better driving as well. But of course, in not 7 days time, in 14 days time, Jess, it's going to be a little break, isn't it? But it's going to be a well-earned break for some of us, for VSL, as we go to our first of, I think, 2 season breaks this season. But of course, 14 days time, we'll be here at Circuit Paul Ricard right at the beginning of the middle of September. So until then, Jess, that's going to be entertaining.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget, Tier 2 has happened tonight as well, so you can check that out after this. So if you want to say that, Alfie was commentating on that, so make sure you check that out. But we'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the French Grand Prix. And can Casper continue his run of form? And, well, with Kieran doing well tonight, I won't be surprised if he would be closing up the gap to Flexi in the championship. So I've been Jessica Ball, Evil Dragon has been Liam New. Have a good evening, and we'll see you in just under 14 days' time for the French Grand Prix. Bye-bye.